How Democracy Came About by Ian, Angelo, and Jacob. Around 600 BC in Greece, Athens was the largest and most powerful city-state. It was also the founder of what we now know as democracy. In 600 BC, there was a severe economic crisis which caused Solon, a respected statesman, to pass reforms which increased citizen participation in government. 100 years later, Cleisthenes introduced further reforms which increased the balance of power between rich and poor. However, it was still a limited democracy because only 1/5 of Athenians were citizens, and only citizens could vote. From 461 to 429 BC, a wise, able statesman named Pericles led Athens. Pericles helped Athens evolve into a direct democracy, where citizens directly make the laws rather than through representation. Greek democracy ended after Macedonia, a nearby state, invaded and conquered Greece. During the 300s BC, philosophers appeared in Athens. They were deep thinkers who thought about the origins of life and the universe. They used reason and logic. These things began to develop in politics and lawmaking. Direct democracy was developed again, and 3 branches of government were developed: legislative, executive, and judicial. As Greek democracy was in decline, a new republic, Rome, was developing. The plebeians, common workers, struggled to get some of the power from the hands of the wealthy landowners. After some time, they succeeded. An important victory for the plebeians was written law. The laws were written on 12 tablets and kept the landowners from changing laws to suit themselves. Around 20 BC, Rome tried to create a system of laws for the entire empire. They made the laws based on reason and justice. Important principles were equal treatment, innocent until proven guilty, and proof had to come from the accuser. These laws were written down. This was a republic. In 1066, the Anglo-Saxons were defeated at the Battle of Hastings, and William took the English throne. This ended feudalism and began the centralized government in England. One of King William's descendants was King Henry. He ruled for 45 years from 1154 to 1189. He developed the jury system in England. Common law became established over time. When Henry died, Richard became king, and then John after him. John was unpopular and raised taxes. In 1215, the nobles forced him to sign the Magna Carta. It limited a king's power. Parliament's ability to approve expenses gave it strong influence in government. Parliament voted on taxes, laws, and royal policies. In the 1600s, kings started saying they were king by divine right, that God said they were king. When Elizabeth I died in 1603 without a child, she was followed by her relatives from Scotland. They knew little of the English laws, and they clashed with Parliament. King Charles I became king in 1625. He needed funds, so he asked Parliament for money. In return, Parliament wanted Charles to sign the Petition of Right. The Petition of Right went against absolute monarchy. He accepted it and then ignored what it said after he had the funds. King Charles dismissed Parliament in 1629. When Scotland invaded in 1640 and King Charles needed funds, he was forced to call Parliament back. However, Parliament would not give him money until he admitted that he had wronged them. They passed laws to reduce his power. This angered King Charles, and so the two went back and forth. In 1642, the English Civil War broke out. The anti-royalists defeated the royalists, and Charles was executed in 1649. The anti-royalist force was led by Oliver Cromwell, who later took over as leader. In 1653, he became unhappy with Parliament and dissolved them. He created the Protectorate and named himself Lord Protector. He was essentially a military director and was very unpopular. He died in 1658. In 1660, a new parliament restored the monarchy in a period called Restoration. In 1679, Parliament passed the Habeas Corpus Amendment Act. This required the authorities to produce a person in court when they were arrested. In 1689, William and Mary were offered the crown. They accepted. Parliament continued to have more and more power over the monarchs, and England was now a constitutional monarchy. In 1689, an English Bill of Rights was passed.